YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Benji, and we back on TV. Hey, look, this is WWE in Between the Ropes. We love all things entertainment this way, but we love to talk wrestling on WWE in Between the Ropes, of course. We literally, if you didn't know, a couple days before Backlash is supposed to commence. I mean, they're in St. Louis this Saturday. It is currently Thursday. I mean, does anybody feel like a PLE is around the corner? I don't know. We're heading into SmackDown right before the PLE, and I mean, not really overly excited about it. And if you look at the, take a quick glance. Just take a quick glance at the match card. Notice anything? Yeah, I do. Logan Paul and Jey Uso was a match that was promised to us. Doesn't look like that's something that we're going to get a Backlash. I'm not mad at that because I think the build was just too sloppy. I mean, the complaints have been the build to WrestleMania 41. And now the build to Backlash has been lackluster simply because I think the build to WrestleMania 41 was terrible. So trying to rush in a Jey Uso title match at Backlash after you just rushed a title match at Raw, I think there's no sense to be made there. I think that's nonsense, as a matter of fact. The good thing is now that there's our layers. I mean, we saw Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins attack Sami Zayn and CM Punk mercilessly. So it's good to see that these guys ran to Jey Uso's aid after Seth Rollins tried multiple ways in order to win that championship back. I think from going to that to then having a match against Logan Paul would be absolutely horrid pacing and storytelling. I think that'd be just terrible because none of us even understand why Paul Heyman really aligned with CM Punk. Aligned with Seth Rollins. I understand him leaving CM Punk because he feels as if CM Punk gave him an opportunity where it was a lose-lose situation. I understand why he might feel some type of way about Roman Reigns not sticking by his side while Bloodline 2.0 left him in the dirt. I understand. Sure. Fine. But why Seth Rollins? I continue to bring up that it would never make sense. Now, this is something I foresaw way back when. That probably the biggest flip of the script or the biggest swerve we were going to get was Paul Heyman aligning with Seth Rollins. I don't get it, though. Why? For years, Seth Rollins has been a thorn in your side, particularly Roman Reigns. You were right there with Roman Reigns. And between Roman Reigns and CM Punk, the guy that they hate the most is Seth Rollins. Why would you then align with this dude? Because if you're if you're hanging around with friends and if they don't like somebody long enough, you will begin to have some dislike for that person because probably only you've heard about that person are bad things. This person might be biased. It's very possible that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are biased. So if you've been spending all this time beside these guys, I mean, look at the very inception of the Shield. Why would CM Punk say anything positive about these guys that try to turn on him? And then years down the line, after you leave Brock Lesnar to align yourself with the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and he talks about how Seth Rollins is just a prick and a thorn in his side, you then align with the dude. After disliking everything about that dude, down to the very song that the crowd chants when this dude erupts for a entrance. Now you're aligning with the dude? Why? What benefit does it serve you? Other than just a new task. A new character to lift up. It doesn't make any sense to me. Throwing Sami Zayn the opportunity to go to SmackDown. He doesn't come back to SmackDown. Then he helps his boy Jay. And then Jay just doesn't match against Logan Paul. Win or lose. What just happened? You know what I mean? I think it makes no sense. So at least being able to spend the time to build to the Logan Paul match that might lead to Seth Rollins trying to get his lick back. That might lead to him regurgitating hate for CM Punk, which might lead to him trying to put Sami Zayn down for good. At the very least, this makes a little sense. A lot of us are still waiting to try to figure out what is going on with Jimmy. So, I'm not upset, long story short, that Jey Uso is not going to be on Backlash. Now let's get to what we do know is going to be up here. Penta is supposed to be matching up with Dirty Dominik Mysterio. Why? I think a lot of us are big fans of Penta. But, brother, you had a lot of opportunities to win the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, Dominik Mysterio, Fatal 4-Way. I mean, dude, you can't win. And you haven't even gotten a solid story as to why any of us should care whether or not you would win or not. No. But I'm cool with, the Judgment Day, the faction being tied to this belt. So, of course, Dom is not losing. No way. No way. There's too much that could be held here together with that belt. So I don't think it makes any sense for him to lose. That match, I don't really care too much about it, honestly. That's a match you can tune in for the last 2 minutes. Gunther and Pat McAfee, this is ridiculous. Again, we just had a bunch of releases last week. And we're using up somebody's spot. Whereas, over the last 8 months, Gunther could have been fighting against somebody looking for an opportunity. Somebody looking to try and build their name. We didn't see that over the last 8 months that Gunther was champion. We ended up having him essentially just transition the belt over to Jey Uso. And now, where somebody else could have got an opportunity against Gunther, we have Pat McAfee, a commentator, fighting against this dude. Ever since Gunther lost the Intercontinental Championship, I honestly don't know what's going on. The way he's booked is terrible. He should absolutely destroy Pat McAfee. Like, within 5 seconds of this dude walking out, Pat McAfee walking up the ramp, Gunther should put him in that chokehold and beat the living piss out of him for even thinking that he could step into the ring with the ring general. That's it. I don't want to see anything other than that. Gunther wins. Anyways, next. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I mean, people are torn one way or the other. I think this can go a couple different ways. The way a lot of people believe that it should go is a situation where Becky's about to win and Bayley interferes, leading to Lyra retaining the belt. If this is just a regular match and Lyra just beats Becky, then should we, should we care? Because I think you could build more off of that, where Becky could be like, you didn't even beat me clean. I thought, for her to be like, I taught you everything you knew, and then just to return, win a tag team championship with her, and then lose to her, it's like kind of crazy, because Becky would then, within 1 month, 3 matches, then be 1-3, 1-2. And that kind of kills the mystique of anybody giving an F about Becky Lynch. But at least if Becky were to go down due to, let's say, a Bayley, an interference leading to her getting pinned, or an interference leading to her getting disqualified, I'm cool with that. And then that being the catalyst as to why Becky now has a beef with Bayley, and then I could see that being, even Bayley could show, some of her frustration towards Miss Lyra. But at the end of the day, I think that almost every angle should point to Lyra winning. I think there's an angle that we could play where Becky Lynch wins and she becomes this tyrant with the WWE, and hopefully enough, now that lifts the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship up. That's something. But I think there's a lot of different ways they can play off of it with Lyra retaining. But I'm not upset at them putting Lyra in their chasing position, so I made a video on that one, honestly. I think Lyra should win, though. Fatal 4-Way here. FATU, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest. I don't see anything else other than FATU retaining. And I think that you can build a lot out of this. This was definitely a match that we just had some of the most popular people and just put them in the match together. I think it'll be high flying. I think it'll be hard hitting, and I think it'll be exciting. I'm not mad at this. Randy Orton versus John Cena. I mean, obviously, I think this match in itself is not going to be overly exciting, and we're going to see John Cena retain. I don't like these guys have talked to each other face to face one time after Randy RKO'd this dude. Why should any of us care really, other than the fact that this is a nostalgia act, and this is possibly the last time these two ever match up in the ring? I mean, again, 09 Orton. I think it's something that I would much rather see, but it's cool. Long story short, this entire PLE seems like it's going to be a throwaway because there isn't going to be much that gets developed, if you had to ask me. But I think they at least have some pieces that they could straw into some really dope storylines. But those are my picks, those are my predictions, those are my thoughts. Again, the Women's United States Championship is left off of PLE. I don't think there's a reason that any of us should care about it. Chelsea Green did the most. I think she's probably going to be the woman on SmackDown that does the most to have any of us care about what's going on in the United States Championship. I think, unfortunately, a lot of you guys talk about her reign sucked. That's simply because you're only paying attention to who she matched up against. I think her and Michin were dope because it at least got an opportunity for multiple women to showcase themselves on TV. But Chelsea Green is literally a national treasure. Like, if you follow her on social media, she's hilarious. But, I mean, I don't know why. Again, this is not up there. Don't know why the Women's Tag Team Championships are not up there. Oh, right. Liv is gone. So, I guess the Judgment Day are going to hold another set of championships hostage. No men's championships. Whatever, man. Let's just be done with it.